Welcome to Linkedpreneur Stories. Welcome back again to Linkedpreneur Stories. Welcome to Linkedpreneur Stories. Welcome back to Linkedpreneur Stories. We are live. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all of you, whichever part of the world you're tuning in. Tell us how your day was. Here I am yet again, another episode with another fabulous guest today who have made it to the top, shared their expertise, their strength to just uplift everyone across the world. Today's episode is indeed a very, very, very special episode. Are you ready for it? Hello, everyone, to all the beautiful people out here. Welcome to Linkedpreneur Story. This is Kush, your host, or otherwise Kushbu Nangalia. That's how you search me, but just call me Kush, and I would love to welcome each one of you on this amazing episode of Linkedpreneur Stories. We have done 68 episodes, and this is really getting amazing as we are getting close to our century. And today's guest is okay, he has been a CEO, a COO, a founder, and so much more in his life. And at the same time, he has an amazing sense of humor and wit. But I'm not going to unveil any further about him. Let's hold up and keep the excitement rolling. This is the time for you to give me a quick hi and tell me if you're watching, and let's take it to the next level. Tell me, guys, where are you watching in and tuning in from? Because I'm excited to give you a good hi. And you've got to do something. Today's episode, the leader who's going to join us, you don't want it to keep the knowledge only to yourself. You want to take that to the world. So hit up the share button and share it over WhatsApp, Facebook group, LinkedIn groups, LinkedIn profile, everywhere. Put it across, guys. You really want to hear him and learn so much, because I'm all ears and I'm excited to learn and go to the next level of not only managing people, team, company, but at the same time living the life to the fullest. I admire the soul, but it's just the start of the week. What's happening, guys? What's super interesting that's happening at your end? For our end, definitely we are wrapping up this quarter with a great success and moving forward to the next quarter. All the plans are in queue, but that's not to share the FOMO side of you. So I don't want to make you guys feel like, oh my God, everything is so nice. No, there's a lot of topsy-turvy that also happens, guys. And everything is not like a straight upwards curve. It is a roller coaster ride. And trust me, we enjoy it every single day. And that's what brings the excitement in life. So tell me, what's the roller coaster ride at your end, whether good or low, whichever. It just makes us a better person in life. I just know that. So today we are definitely going to talk about the successes, but not going to leave the failures for sure. Hi guys, hi. Let's look at all the amazing people who are joining us. Hi Rajesh, hi Ravinder, hi Valerie, hi Anil. You're right up on the chat as well. Hi Atia, hi Vijay, hi Mohan. I can see Yusuf, I can see Nuang. Hi. Amazing, guys. All of you are up here with a lot of excitement. I'm not going to make you further wait. You want to know who is he? Then, as the drill goes, I can see so many of you are indeed from KL. That's amazing. Keda. Okay, that's nice. Hi, everyone. Hi, Yusuf. If I am reading it well, you says I'm deaf. I'm so sorry. I'm guessing we do have subtitles here on LinkedIn, which would be coming live. And if you're able to read it, then it'll be a happy place for me, because I want each one of you to get the best value out of it. But Yusuf, it's my honor to have you on the show and really take this to the next level. I would love to hear how was the episode from you. So please write back to me, and lots of love for everybody. Let's get going. Let's get started. And a very, very good evening, guys. Here we are on Linkpreneur Stories, where we bring in the most successful leaders to bring in their story real time on this show, to help all the ambitious soul get to where they want to be. So we are just nothing but a small bridge connecting the two amazing worlds. Now let's bring up my co-host Anil Meghani right up on the screen. Hi Anil, welcome.
Hello,
How's
good
the day?
evening. Hello, everyone. Good evening to all of you from Singapore. Right, Kush? I'm on the right drill.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So Anil, what is the one of the most share a roller coaster from for everybody, since we are talking about roller coaster, a good or a bad, whatever.
Oh, yes. Whenever I think of a roller coaster, I actually get scared because I don't love roller coaster rides.
I do.
And I think we know that definite. But yes, since the subject today is something very interesting, and let me tell about my roller coaster ride. This is about a year back, uh, early 2019. Uh, I always had, I always had wanted to start my entrepreneurial journey, which was there, and you know that very well. I've been working for almost 2 decades plus, like our
Correct.
guest today. And I thought, how long can I wait to start my entrepreneurial journey? And that's where I kind of did a leap of faith. And trust me, joining you and Chetan has been nothing less than a roller coaster ride, Kush. And I'm sure you're aware. Linkedpreneur Stories, which is a pandemic baby, Salt&Pepper, and you're doing host of other things which are there together.
Of course, Anil. I think that is definitely a journey from intrapreneur to entrepreneur. Hey guys, have you had that curve? Or yeah, are you wanting to have that curve? Share us with the comment section. I would love to hear your stories as well. Are you an entrepreneur and want to become an entrepreneur, or otherwise tired of running a business and want to go back to the corporate world? Either ways, I just want to hear your thoughts. We have Michelle, we have Kushbu, in other words, KB, Atria, and Ratiga, so many of us already joining us. Tell us, Anil, who is this with more than 2 decades, or lot more than 2 decades of experience?
You'll soon find out.
Hi,
You'll soon find
Qatar.
out. So
Yes,
yes,
hi, Qatar. Hey, guys, drop a hi in the comment section. We really want to know who is watching. Drop a hi. And Anil, let's motivate them to hit the share button. Hit the share button. So go all out, guys. Hit the share button. Why?
yes,
For
yes,
two
yes. Hit the
reasons.
share button. And guys, we are also on Spotify. Don't forget that. We've started on Spotify. Already 12 episodes are live, and we'll be adding more episodes every week, guys.
Absolutely. And guys, hitting the share button is two ways. We definitely want to meet new people who you are connected with. And surely we want to take the wisdom, the wit, and the humor of our guests to the people all across. So, Anil, over to you.
Yes. With no further ado, uh, he brings over 2 decades, as I mentioned, of experience in the tech, media, and telco sector, including a decade building and growing P&Ls across Asia. His career includes various CEO and senior management positions in companies like Hook, Globe Telecom, Virgin Mobile, Bain and Company, encompassing both developed and developing markets and covering a spectrum of companies from startups to large enterprises. His notable achievements include scaling up digital businesses from scratch and helping spearhead one of the world's most successful telco transformations over the past decade. He has a proven track record of leading digital business transformation programs. Oh, I love him a lot. And building strong company cultures in diverse markets across Asia Pacific and the United States. So let's put our hands and welcome Peter Bithos from Singapore to hear his thoughts and advices on the great resignation and how can companies retain their employees from quitting. Welcome, Peter.
Hi,
Welcome to the show,
Kush.
Peter.
Hi,
Hi.
Anil. That was the biggest buildup since I dressed up as Tony Stark in Halloween of 2012. Oh my gosh. Hello, and thank you very much for the very gracious comments.
No, so well deserved, Peter. There was nothing which was not true. It's you, it's your life, just in the last 60 seconds. That's what we try to make it happen. And I told you guys, that is just the start. Watch out the next 30 minutes, and you will see there are chances you can actually bounce off your chair for all the good reasons. But yes, I'm
See you
excited, and
guys
let's get
soon.
started.
Let's
Yeah,
get
Anil,
let's
see
do
you
it. Let's
soon.
do it.
Super. Thanks, Anil. So, Peter,
It's just you and
there
I.
is,
It's just
yes, it's just
it's
you
like
and I.
it's not going to be like BBC Hard Talk, will it?
Let's try not to make it happen that way. And if we do, I'm
Oh,
sure
please
you will
no.
not let it. I'm sure you will not let it stay for even a minute. So, this is for sure that even if I try all the seriousness to come in and everything, I don't think you will let it keep it for more than a minute or so.
I don't know, Kush Boo. I'm pretty nervous right now, Kush. So you're just gonna have to go easy on me.
Okay, let's go easy. And the only thing that I would love to get started with, Peter, I think um, we are talking about the great resignation. Okay. That's something our viewers can already see it right up on the screen. And that's what our core topic is going to be all about. So, do you want to take a moment and actually explain to our audience what is the great resignation,
So I would like to
according to
say
you?
that the yeah, I would like to say that the Great Resignation is what I'm gonna do when I go surfing for about 3 years in Costa Rica. But sadly, we're not going to cover that topic today. In all seriousness, what's happening across the region. So, a little bit about my current job is I get the privilege of running. I'm the CEO of Asia for Seek, and we run the largest job boards or job marketplaces all across Asia. And so we get to see the economies up close, the job market up close, and the
Correct.
trends in each country in Asia. And really what you hear about with the Great Resignation is a number of trends rolled up into one. And specifically, there are three, right? Number one is a huge change and acceleration in the nature of economies happening due to COVID. So COVID has
Correct.
accelerated a whole bunch of things. So that's number one. Number two, demographic trends in multiple countries playing themselves out along these years as they go on. So some countries are getting older, some
Oh, yeah.
countries are like China, South Korea, Taiwan, Japan. There are many economies that are facing some very serious, many countries in Western Europe that are facing some very serious demographic issues. And the combination of those two things lead to a third thing, which is a dramatic gap between jobs being created and people trained for those jobs. And as a result, you get a huge amount of jobs that can't be filled and a huge amount of people that
Correct.
are saying, I can't do these jobs, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And it's not because they don't want to work, but because they don't know how to get from A to B and they have chosen other paths. And so it's a very weird time in the data that we see because you can see massive gaps on one side, massive supply on other side, but you can't match them.
Correct. 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 I think you hurt my mind, Peter, because there are so many times when people come and tell me, Kush, there are no jobs. And I'm saying, I see jobs every single day. I have a job. I'm hiring people. But very well classified, the reason why it persists, there is no job and there are jobs, is because of the huge difference in the need and the supply. We don't have
Massive.
what we want, and what we have is no more needed.
Yeah, it's like a high school dance where all the girls want to dance with the football players, and there's only 11 football players or 11 cricketers. Maybe I'll maybe I should talk your language. Like you go to the high school dance and all the girls want to dance with cricketers and there's only 10 cricketers and
Only
everybody
10.
else don't know how to, they don't know how to play cricket and they can't dance, right? So because of that, right? And that's really what's happening here. So all of a sudden I'm getting flashbacks to my high school years where I couldn't dance with anybody and oh, that's
So
could
you
be, I should
you
change the
answered
analogy.
you answered my question. I was about to ask, were you one of the footballers in your team and you got to enjoy the
No, decidedly not. Decidedly, I was the one. I was the one waiting. Wait, is there someone coming for me? No, I was one of these people who weren't matched, right? And that's the
Oh,
job market right now, right? So you only have a small number of dance partners, and the whole thing that companies need to do, and people need to do is you need to become attractive to become a dance partner. And you need to
correct.
change the way you look for dance partners if you're looking for a dance partner. If you're a company, you need to change, like, don't keep looking for cricketers. There's only so many cricketers.
So I think Peter, you already are like going to a point where I was going to ask you how to mitigate these three situations, like pandemic, demographics, and then you have the need and the supply problem, which is not matching to each other. How do you see we as an ecosystem of startups or ecosystem of organizations who are currently hiring extensively, because we also know the investor side of the entire thing is really growing to a great extent. During the pandemic, we talk about there's no money, but some of the biggest investments have happened during the last 1 year. We've seen more number of unicorns coming out of Southeast Asia. So, Peter, what is your solution or what are your suggestions? Like, what can a startup or a company do to really manage these three situations? Pandemic, I'm guessing, not in too much of control.
Yeah, Kush, you're like it's a fatal flaw in an interview. Ask the guest for his or her opinion, and then you get a whole bunch of things that sound really smart, and then they really aren't fact based. So instead of me telling you what I think, let me reflect. So in my position, I'm very fortunate. We do a global survey of 190 countries, or we survey 200,000 people globally
Oh,
in
wow.
190 countries, and we do it every year. And we just completed the survey for 2020, so we just got the data back for 2020, and so instead of me telling you what I think, because I would probably tell you, give me a nice, a bar, and give me I really want a comfortable desk chair. That's very important in my life. At my age, desk chairs matter, right? So instead of me telling you, let me tell you what the data shows, and what we see companies need to do because of what the data says. And so
I think I
from
love
that,
that because it's very practical. I love that.
yeah. So and let me tell you on three dimensions. First of all, we surveyed what people want when they're looking to find a job, how people want to work, and where people want to work. So what they
So
want to
what,
do,
how?
what,
Yes,
how, and
what, how,
where,
and yes, what,
and
how, and
where,
where. Wow. I
right?
think, Peter,
So,
as you're getting into the answer of this, I just want to give a quick shout out. I can see the audiences have already started putting their questions. And that's amazing,
oh,
Ravinder. We can see your questions already. It's going to come very soon, right up on the screen, and I'm going to bring to Peter. But guys,
okay.
that's your moment to take in and push your question as soon as you think of something you want to know from him. Just put it out inside. Just don't ask him his favorite meal, guys. Let's
You,
put
you
that for some other day.
you can do that. You can do that. That's fine. Like sushi is mine. That's fine. The answer to that is sushi, right? So,
Okay, lovely. So let's get back to where we were,
yep.
Peter, of discovering the what, the how, and the where.
Yep. So on the what, it's very interesting. So you've got two or three things that are very critical, that are traditionally critical, but really puts the spotlight in a Zoom world of how you're going to do it in a different way, right? So the number one and number two things that are the most important to people right now are their relationships with their superior, their boss, and their peers. So it's relationships. People want to be connected. And that's the most important thing on the list. By the way, number 3 is compensation, financial security, right?
Ah,
Which is up dramatically from 2 years ago and 3 years ago. Pre-COVID, it's come up. So the feeling of insecurity is very, very much there. I want to be connected and I want to be secure, right? So now that sounds easy. Everybody can kind of relate to the financial security thing, but let me ask you: when you hire somebody over Zoom, or you have somebody whose entire work experience, like mine, I have worked for my company in a year and I have never met most of my coworkers. How do you build connectivity and relationships for your employees? How do you build that for your recruits? Right? So this is really, really a big challenge for many, many companies right now. Then when
correct.
you double click beneath it, you get into second order and third order. Diversity and inclusion and environment are becoming more important on the list, particularly for workers below 40. 50% of everybody below 40 will discount companies if they are not aligned with the company, with their own personal values on diversity and the
Ah,
environment. So you just
that's
lose half
amazing.
the employee base. Yeah.
Correct.
You
And
lose
these are
half the
the
employee base if you're not aligned with that.
and you're talking about below 40, right? So the
Yes.
millennials and the Gen Zs and
Correct.
Gen X
Correct.
especially, you lose them
Correct.
completely if they're cultural. And I'm pretty surprised, Peter, you just mentioned, so of course we'll go deeper into this, but you mentioned that the compensation is right now at number 3, correct?
Yes.
And
Correct.
which is actually raised up. So of course, Peter, it's your industries and you have the numbers. If I look at from my point of view, as an entrepreneur who's running a startup, I always thought that compensation would be the top 2 for me. But you're saying that it has rised up the ladder and is now at number 3, which means it was
Yeah.
somewhere maybe 5,
Yeah. It
or
was.
I'm
It
just,
was number 7. So
oh my
so
God.
do you know? Here's an interesting thought. Now this is we ourselves are staring into this data. So on the one hand, in 2018, career opportunities and long-term career development was like number 5 or number 4, and compensation was number 7.
Oh my
Now,
God.
compensation is way more important than career opportunities and career development. So on the one hand, it's become more important and career opportunities have become less important. But on the other hand, there's this massive skill gap that if you have workers who don't have the skills to do the job, how are you gonna ever bridge that gap? And if you have a gap in workers because you can't find enough, you have to go out and find people and help train them in something that they
Correct.
may not have the right skills for. And so
Correct.
it's very strange, right? Right now, people are really worried about how do I get connectivity to people I work with, and I haven't even met them, and am I financially secure in my job? And they're not even thinking about career. But at the same time, if you want to fill your job, you've got to serve that, but then you've got a skills gap as well to meet. So it's a very hard time for companies right now to find enough talent. And oh, by the way, you have to be diverse. And oh, by the way, you have to be a good environmental citizen, or you get discounted by 50% of the staff out there.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's really interesting stats. But yes, Peter, you said number 1 was inclusion or
Your
diversity, or that
relation,
was
no, number one,
relation with the
relationship
bosses,
to
what
your
with the
boss,
bosses.
with your boss.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. And then it was inclusion and diversity, and then comes compensation, which I'm pretty surprised about. But yes, it was an interesting stats, and I get this is the what factor. Are we getting deeper into the how
Yes.
and
Yeah. So
the
the
okay? I'm
how.
all
Yeah. You
ears.
want to talk about the how? Yeah. So the how is so fascinating. People have talked about, oh, now we're all remote and we want to do remote. Now come back to the number 1 and number 2, relationship with your boss, relationship to your peers, right? Number 1 and number 2. So,
Correct.
actually, we asked people, how would you want to work? Do you want to work remote now that you get to work at home, et cetera, et cetera? 80% of people don't want to work fully remote. Only 20% of people, actually, it's 19% of people want to work fully remote, right? So 80%, 8 out of every 10 of us, we want physical interaction. We want to come to the office. Now, the difference is we no longer want to come to the office, at least most of us don't want to come to the office 5 days a week, right? We
Correct.
want a mix. We want flexibility. I feel that way. I'm like, yes.
I was,
But I can tell you, being trapped at home 5 days a week is like my worst nightmare, right? I was like, oh my God, I've got three teenage daughters, like a dog. I'm like, what am I gonna do, right?
I am hoping
So
they're not hearing you.
I hope so too. I have a feeling they are. I'm gonna hear it later, that's for sure. But most of us, I'm included in this list. I like to go to the office a few days. I like my relationships. I like to be connected. But that is the case for almost all of us. Only about 20% of us want to work fully remote. Kind of this world of everybody's working remotely all over the planet. It's not really going to work out that way, except for pockets of talent concentrated where you can't find them any other way, and you want to find them, and then that's where you've got to hire them. Data scientists or AI specialists or individual contributors in very hard to
Correct.
find skills.
So that means, Peter, over here, 19% of them do not want to go with 100% remote, which is work from home culture. But at the same time, we still have a large portion who do not want to go back 100% to the office culture as well.
Yes.
So right now,
Yes.
this is like two extremes for people, and everybody's looking for a balance where they can have some time private and some time with people around. Interesting, interesting. I have to tell you, I almost like was really when you said me that 19% was not wanting to go to, I mean, not wanting to work from office 100%. I was like, I always thought people wanted hybrid, and 80% want to go back to office. Okay, I
No,
can't believe
80%.
that's
So no, it's
correct.
80% want to go
Yeah, it's a
back in some
hybrid.
way. And
Yes.
about 50, 60% of them want a hybrid, and 20%, well, like, I want to go back 5 days a week. To be honest,
Yeah.
I don't know who those people are, right? Who are those people, right?
I also
So
don't know who
I'm
are
like,
these
what is that
people.
all about, right? I mean, I'm so glad I could sit here. I could have a chat with you in my boxers. You have no idea, I'm not just like sitting anyway. Yeah, but I won't stand up. That would be horrible, right? But you can only do that now, right?
Correct, correct.
Um, yeah. So
But
most
yes,
people now that has a big consequence on your space planning, how you think about your
yes.
office, and how you think about your requirements. What happens if you want to get everybody together? What does that mean, right? And do you mandate across the company certain days a week in the office, or do you leave it up to teams? If you leave it up to teams, then some people are never going to bump into each other. It's a very
Correct.
difficult challenge.
Right. And I think the company, the HRs or the talent heads or even the leaders of the organizations are not quite well versed with going this. It's a phase of experimentation, and they're just going to put to try and see whatever works, whatever is comfortable, and they'll go all in with it. Now, of course, Peter, you can tell me that, Kush, okay, I'm going to come back to data, and I'm happy if that happens as well. But I would really love to know that what is the most preferred way? Is it opening it up that anytime you come to office, or businesses are going for a particular day that, okay, come in, but then the space issue comes in, so are they dividing the teams into two parts and then one in one out kind of a thing? What does the data, or what does the number say, or what does Peter has to say on that before we jump into the where segment?
Well, we don't have data on that, so you're gonna have to. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with the
No
what
problem,
Peter
I'm happy.
thinks. I'm so
Your
sorry. So, okay. Well, I'll give you what we see and what I think. Look, at the end of the day, you whether it's a whether you run a small startup and you work for a very small startup, or you're in a leadership position in a big company, you got to start with your own company culture and value proposition first. You start with that. And then you say, like, if I want my culture to be alive, what is the best way to think about it, right? So, and what do I want? So, for example, at Seek, we are a very empowering culture. We want to move decisions down to the lowest possible level. So we leaning in and saying it's up to each individual people and team leader to figure out what's right for their team. Is it Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Is it just whenever you want? Is it we're going to have one day where we're all in and then you choose the rest? We're not setting that rule at the group level because our culture is we're going to let individuals lead the company, not ourselves. And so it comes back to like what culture we want, and then we set the policy according to what culture we want, right? So now that then is a different decision for every single company, and I think it's got to be rooted in the culture, because culture becomes much more important to program in when you're not there every day, right? So you've got to really think about it and set things in motion that will be alive even though you're in a hybrid environment. And that's a very difficult challenge.
I like the way you're looking at it. I think it's about looking at the culture and then going further with the decision making side of it. And let's hear
Oh.
about the where. Let's hear about the where.
Oh, you want to hear about the where? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I found it very interesting seeing all of the different cities of your audience, of our audience here today. Hi, audience.
Hi guys.
And
Now see, Peter, I've given you a hi.
Hi.
Hit up the share button. That's my plug. So guys, everyone, do make sure to come up and ask your questions, and do make sure that you bring up at the time when we're ready to bring up the
Oh,
questions.
I love some of this stuff. So Rupali was just saying, companies are surveying their staff, and it's hard to decide. I want to say 100%, like every company needs to really survey their own staff and understand not only what their staff think, but what their staff by country thinks. Because what we're finding in our own company with operations all over APAC is different companies and cultures are in different states of mind based on their COVID situation of the moment. And so what you said is
Correct.
one policy in one country cannot be the same as another country, because we're like, one country's in a wave, one country's in lockdown, one country's coming out of lockdown, another country can't get vaccines, everybody's vaccinated. Oh, it's just awful right now. So it's a very,
Absolutely.
very, it's not straightforward, and it takes data and listening and leadership as well, because a lot of this phase is about companies taking a leadership position and saying this is what we believe is right for us. So
Bang
Rupali,
on. I like
that was
that.
a great comment.
Superb, Rupali. I love that. I'm going to bring more comments, Peter. Do you want to see another comment and question that's coming in before we jump to the where side of it?
Only if it's an easy one.
I leave the call to you. I am not
Oh,
sure
okay.
whether it's
All right, all
okay.
right.
Let's go
Bring
with
it,
the
bring it. I'm
let's
feel,
go.
I'm feeling lucky. So bring it.
Okay, then let's do it. Okay, so over here, Christina Law says, "What would be the best approach for a successful hybrid work in Malaysia? Please share your thoughts." I think that was my question. Exactly, that was my question, and you really talked about the culture side of it. So, Peter, if you want to deep dive into it, please go further. Else, that's what we touched upon a while ago.
Yeah. So Christina, so first of all, our regional HQ is in Kuala Lumpur. So I like got so lucky from this question. I don't know, Kush, if that was you, thank you. That was so. So Christina, thank you for the question. Um, so Malaysia. First of all, many countries have gone through hard time. Malaysia's had the lockdown since April. They're only just now coming out. So Christina, if you're in Malaysia, I hope you're safe. I hope your family is
Ask me about
safe.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just been awful in Malaysia right now, right recently. So
I
thankfully it's coming out, and the vaccinations are
Yes.
happening pretty quickly,
Yes,
right?
now I
So
can really go out and have my dinner, and that is like one of the biggest
it's a big
happy point that
difference.
I can. Yeah, it is.
It's a big difference. And all of us in Singapore who were like feeling so good, now you guys can go to Langkawi and Penang, and we can't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
We're still trapped in Singapore. Anyway, Christina, let me tell you what we're contemplating. We haven't decided this yet because we want vaccinations to get a bit more penetrated. But what what we find is, again, our culture is more empowering, and so we're trying to ask that people come in 2 to 3 days a week, but they choose those days based on their manager, their team leads, and their team situations, right? And right now, the policy is right now is if anyone feels uncomfortable at this
Yeah.
moment in time, safety comes first. We do not require anybody to come in at this moment in time, right? So we still believe in places like Malaysia and most countries we're still in a transitory phase, and some people feel unsafe. And the worst thing you can do as an employer is make people feel unsafe. It's
Correct.
like the worst thing you can do. So the overriding principle right now for us in Malaysia is, if you feel unsafe, you do not have to come to the office, right? So we're hopeful of opening the office and opening it up and then allowing people to come in, and eventually we're going to have to move to a much more assertive stance, but that's not now in Malaysia.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's very clear, if you don't feel like it, you can stay back.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was one question. I'll bring another one right here, right now, before we get to the where factor, which is coming in from Ravinder Kaur. And she says, what is the trend we are seeing in Southeast Asia countries? Is great resignation centered in
Ha.
developed countries, or we are seeing this in the developing countries? I think that's a very interesting question.
Yeah. No, Ravinder, thanks for the question. The answer is no, it is not about a developed countries thing, right? The and it, but it might be playing out in different ways. But let me tell you what we see in developing or emerging economies across Southeast Asia. We see a massive skills gap. The rate at which job growth is happening in places like tech or health or consulting services, digital marketing, what have you, is so fast, it's way outstripping the supply of labor in places like Indonesia or Philippines or Thailand. But also at the same time, you get massive dislocation. So for example, in the Philippines, where many workers work globally in the cruise industry, many of them have not had a job, are back in Manila,
Correct.
and literally there are no cruises happening anywhere in the world. And
Right.
so, how is someone who has been in hospitality on a cruise ship supposed to be an Android coder, right? So these are very big problems, and they are happening in developing economies as well as developed economies.
So, Ravinder, sitting in KL, that's your answer coming in from Peter. Now, Peter, before guys, I would take in more questions. I just realized it's time for rapid fire as well. So, before I jump into
Oh,
rapid fire and then more questions coming in from the audiences, Peter, let's hear the where. I am already getting excited about
oh,
it.
well, this is where if you are in a major Asian city, many of them have come significantly up on the rankings. So I saw somebody from Dubai. Dubai's in the top 10. Singapore's in the top 10. Kuala Lumpur is now in the top 20. What has basically happened is Western cities that have not managed COVID well, or Western countries that have not managed COVID well, have fallen in the rankings. And you see the rise of global cities and countries that have either managed COVID well or have been on an ascendancy in general, right? And so, from a where perspective, if people are looking to work somewhere else, places like Tokyo and Singapore and Dubai have come up the list, but also places that have managed COVID very well. Auckland is significantly up the list. So that's one. So that's trend number one. Trend number two is probably like my most depressing stat in the survey that we ran, which is fewer people than ever before have a keen interest in working abroad, in going to get international experience.
Really?
Yes, ever before in the survey. More people want to stay exactly where they are than any other time in over a decade of running the survey. And in Singapore, for example, the figure is now below 50%. It used to be Singaporeans would want to go to another country to get
Correct.
experience
Right.
and then come back and be more skilled. Now that is no longer the case. We see nationalistic trends in almost every single country around the world, exception some African countries. That's the only exception. And that's a kind of a depressing stat. So
It's a
people
very
are wanting to stay put, if by and large, they are more willing to work for another company overseas remotely in their place of residence, but they're not as willing to go abroad as they used to be.
Oh my God. Okay, that's really interesting as a stat that's coming forward because I really never could have thought of that. Tell me, guys, what was your take on it? Was it pretty interesting? Do you want to go abroad and work, or you want to stick back in the country, city, state where you are right now? Let's look at it. What you have to say. More questions coming in, guys. I can see more. I can see Ratika asking. Nora is here saying good evening, good sharing, great insight, Tejwinder. I can see Krishna coming in as well. Awesome. More people are joining in, Peter. Are you ready for a rapid fire round?
Oh my God, I've heard like so many stories about this rapid fire round. Here we go. No, the answer is I'm not ready based on the intelligence. I'm not ready, but I guess I don't have a choice. It's a tradition here on your show, so I guess I have to do it.
Okay, then let's do it. Even if you're not ready, I'm sure you're gonna rock it. So I think as much as time we've spent, I'm really enjoying every piece of the conversation. You almost made me forget the rapid fire. Imagine. So
Did I?
it's definitely,
Ah,
yeah,
I
you
was this
did.
close to succeeding. This close.
So
That's
it
why.
is time. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, look over there, right? So you might forget something, right? So what were we talking about?
No,
We were talking about our survey, right, Kush? Right? So,
we were talking about the rapid fire. Okay, let's do
oh,
it. Let's
okay.
do it. So it's time for a rapid fire, and it's gonna be top of the mind recall, which is I'm gonna say a word, and you gotta tell me what comes to your mind first. Absolutely candid. Whatever comes to your mind first, you're gonna give us that, okay?
Is there an editor to beep out things if I say something that is?
No,
I hope so. Let's just hope
no,
so, right?
no.
Okay.
It's completely
No.
live,
Oh no.
real time. Absolutely
Oh
live
no.
in real time. So no editing
Oh
is
my
happening.
gosh. For all the people in Abu Dhabi, get buckle up. I'm so sorry for what I'm about to say. I don't even know what I'm about to say, but it's never good, right? So go ahead.
Okay, let's get started with the rapid fire, and it's gonna be top of the mind recall. One, two, three. Okay, so what comes to your mind when I say black?
White.
Startup.
Nightmare.
Okay. Uh, in that case, I'll go. uh, you got me stuck actually, but yes, let's go to the another situation altogether, which is COVID.
Response.
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 That's
COVID
interesting.
response.
Okay, that's interesting. Hook.
Nightmare.
I was about to say you can't go and choose the same answer for two questions, so you got to
Like,
choose.
oh, really? Oh, roller coaster. How about that? You were talking about roller
That
coasters earlier? Trust me,
yes,
you guys don't know what a roller coaster is. I know what a roller coaster is.
I
That's what
can
a roller
agree.
coaster is.
I can agree on that. It wouldn't have been an easy ride for sure, for sure, for sure. And I really hope that everybody, I mean, as less as possible people face it. But let's go to the next one, which is what comes to your mind when I say three teenage daughters?
Lots and lots.
Lots and lots.
This I should get beeped out. Right. And anyway, like, lots and lots of alcohol required.
Okay, guys, who are the parents out here? Give him a high five in the comment
Yeah.
section. If you're a parent, he
Oh
definitely
my
can.
gosh.
You guys can relate with it. If you're a parent, give him a high five in the comment section, guys. What do you think of the digital ecosystem at present? What comes to your mind when I say the digital ecosystem?
Way too much money.
Ah, okay, interesting. Fame,
I'm sorry. Could you say it again?
fame, fame, fame.
best movie circa of the 1980s.
I don't even know if it exists.
Oh yeah, this was, it so predates you, right? Like, you know,
Like
all
wait,
you old people out there know what I'm talking about, right?
it predates it, right?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, this is way before your time.
hiring.
Hiring, hiring. Oh, this is top of mind. It's my mission.
Resignation.
My mission.
CEO.
Overhyped.
Failure.
Learning.
Challenges.
Three teenage daughters.
That's like the full circle. Um, pizza.
Pizza? Oh, not low carb.
Ah, okay. Tejwinder is telling great movies. See, that's clearly
See,
out of
there
my
we go.
league. I
That's right.
definitely had no idea.
See, you should. Pre-COVID, it was a Broadway musical as well, but I think COVID kind of killed it, right? Like it killed many musicals.
So, Tejwinder, you got that one definitely. Social media.
Heroin. Heroin. How do I say?
Oh
How do I say
my God.
it? Heroin.
Okay, okay.
Cocaine. How
Link.
about that? Cocaine.
Okay. Scaling.
Difficult.
Travel.
A dream. Far away. Not here. A very far away dream.
Podcast.
Uh, things that I love.
Okay. That is amazing. Now, coming to an end, what comes to your mind when I say Singapore?
Trapped.
OMG. And finally, what comes to your mind when I say Peter Bithos?
Oh my gosh. What comes on? Okay. What? Oh, just like CEO, overhyped.
Okay. But I don't think, Peter, your last question, the last answer was top of the mind. I'm sure, like you already cancelled one and then two and then three and went like, okay, overhype is the right answer. Let's go with that. I am feeling that's the most
No.
positive.
Okay. Here's what I went through: imposter syndrome, imposter syndrome. Overhyped is a different. Okay, how about that?
Okay.
So I just sit quietly,
Okay.
going, "Oh my God, I have to sound intelligent, right?"
Okay,
There we go.
superb. Anil is telling should have been more specific. 12-inch pizza loaded with cheese.
Decidedly not low carb, not low fat. How about that? It's like
No, and Natalie is
excellent.
telling us love it. Failure is equal to learning. Awesome, Peter. You did so well.
Did I? Did I pass, Kush?
Yeah, you
Like,
did. You did. You did pass. You did pass.
because
And trust
I
me, your favorite answer was the great pause when I said three teenage daughter, and you're like, should I not? Should I not?
so
I
many
love
bad things went through my mind.
it. Your teenage daughter will be impressed with your scorecard. Okay, that's coming for you. So, Peter, that's amazing. I loved it. Moving forward, of course, as we are done with the rapid fire, I'm excited to bring in a question that I saw coming in from. Okay, yeah, it's done.
I know. Well, what is that thing? What is? Well, you just like what? Are you like Captain Kirk? You're like a captain of a starship. That's so cool. I want one of those. How do I get one of those? That's amazing.
Okay.
Is that if you hit that button, does something blow up? Like, is that your phasers? Like, that would be so cool. Look at that. It even turned sideways. Oh my God, look at that. That
It
is
does. It
officially the coolest
does.
thing I have seen in at least a decade. That is
Oh
awesome.
my God. So that's my gimbal. I love it so much and I really enjoy it. So this is where I'm actually seeing the questions that is coming in for the amazing people out here. And
Wow.
it just with a click
You've
goes,
even named it. You've even named it. It's your gimbal. Hi, gimbal. How are you? You've given it a name. Wow.
this
Not
is
even
known
Captain
as the
Kirk. Maybe Captain. You know what? I'm pretty sure Captain Kirk had a name for his chair, and he just didn't tell us, right? So, yeah, just
which
but
I
you
will
told
also
us.
not.
You told us. You're like, this is gimbal. Hi, gimbal. That's my gimbal.
Oh my God. Oh my God. But you definitely reminded me of Tony Stark. I'm a big fan of Tony Stark movies and I'm just I can watch them full day, full night on
Ah.
repeat. That's who I am. But yes,
Well, Kush, I got bad news. I am not a billionaire. I am not a genius. I am not a playboy, and I'm not a philanthropist. Like, okay, so I got nothing, right? So,
so it's not Robert Downey, it's Tony Stark's. I love him.
uh,
That is for the Iron Man movie. So let's not get into the reality side of it. Not too much of a fantasy, definitely. But I love the sci-fi movie. So that's my thing. And I'm excited to bring in the next question, which is you said something and Ravinder definitely wanted to know more about it, which is which was the second point in the three datas which you shared, and that was diversity and inclusion. And Ravinder says, what aspect of diversity and inclusion you are talking about? Peter, please elaborate.
okay. So it's very interesting. This is one where I don't have the data on definition. We just left it to the survey respondent to kind of define it as they see fit. But let me tell you my personal kind of experience building teams. Diversity is not only about gender and say racial backgrounds. Now, what gender and racial backgrounds do is it brings a tremendously different set of perspectives and life experiences to the table. But when
Right.
I build a team, I look for that. Plus, I look for contrasting personalities. I like extroverts and introverts. Like a whole team of extroverts is just a nightmare, especially for me,
Yeah.
right? So, that would be really bad. So I look for people who are great big picture thinkers and great at process, and uh,
Yeah.
and and I look for people who are young and up and coming and safe pair of hands, right? So I methodically build a team, and when you have a team of say six and you're looking to add a seventh, I oftentimes think about the type of individual I want, not just interview and find the best candidate. Is the best candidate, quote unquote, may be somebody that may be awesome for the role, but not good for the team. And I'll pass on
Correct.
that. So diversity and inclusion means a lot of different things for me. And I think the best teams are basically those with immense diverse perspectives and life experiences, and that comes through a lot of different lenses.
Oh, that's amazing. So it's not about, I mean, as most people think, which is diversity and inclusion is about the gender, the culture, and everything, but it's right
It
in the
is
mind as
important,
well.
but it just can't be the only thing you drive for, right? Because you're just going to
Makes
end up
sense.
you can have a whole bunch of team, of extroverts, and it'd still be a nightmare no matter how diverse it is.
No, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. I love it. So, Ravinder, that was for you. I have a question which is coming in from Zoraida, and her question was hybrid or work flexibility. What's your take? And I guess work flexibility is more about letting them do what
Yeah,
they
I'm,
want to
I'm,
do,
I'm,
I'm guessing.
I'm trying to understand the question.
So Zoraida, do you want to take a
So
moment to just explain what is work flexibility so that we can be accurate and come up with an answer? Till then, I will go with the next question. So we'll wait for her to come back. Till the time, Michelle says, I love your perspective of a good team.
hi,
Awesome. That's
Michelle. Thank you. That's really great. Thanks, Michelle.
lovely. Now people are congratulating you as well. And passed with flying colors. So that was
Oh,
for
thank
your
God. Whoa.
rapid fire.
Wow. That was okay. Oh, good,
So
good.
see, I was not lying. I was not lying. I was not lying. So now the next question that comes in is from Ratika. She says, how do you see this change in relation to IR 4.0? And when she says
IR
this
for
change, I'm just guessing when she says that it is this change, she's particularly referring to a portion of a conversation which probably we were talking about. So it's Industrial Revolution 4.0. What do you think of this
ah.
change? I'm guessing it's more of the cultural change, the change that is happening in the entire segment of
Well,
people.
if you take COVID as the key trend, right? Or the trends that we've talked about over the last whatever 30 minutes. Um, uh, so um, so it is, I think, the beginning, but it's when I say beginning, it is just not the very beginning. They were trends happening over the last 5 to 10 years since really the global financial crisis. Actually, if you look at the data, there was really a lot of kinks that started happening and trends that started happening. And there were a lot of reasons why the rise of mobile phones, the rise of social networks. There were a lot of global trends over the last 10 years that all of a
Correct.
sudden just took off during COVID. And I do feel that we are really experiencing, we're not, we are in the middle of a major revolution of sorts, of the scale of the Industrial Revolution. And there's a lot of macro trends happening all at once. Unfortunately, I'm not always optimistic for everything because I think the world has managed change so poorly over the last 4 decades, 3 decades, that, if change is happening faster and the world has managed it poorly, and it's only going to happen even more, even faster, like that, there's some really bad things that I think can play themselves out. And, you know, the last 4 decades, huge populations have been
Oh
left
yeah,
behind, particularly in developed
correct.
economies. And now, what happens when those trends leave populations behind in developed and developing economies, right? And that's a very scary thought.
Awesome. I think that was for you, Ratika, for your answer on IR 4.0 and what's at stake. Guys, a quick shout out to Peter for everything that he has shared. Definitely, we are almost coming to the end of the entire
Oh,
session, but if you
that was
guys
so
learn something
fast.
new, you find it fast. Okay, that's great because we were already over
Uh,
time, like
you know
we
what?
were
Kush, it's because you're a great host. That's why. Kush,
I don't
I,
think
I
so.
love you
You are taking
3000. I love you 3000.
Oh, you know it. Okay, that's awesome. No, Peter, I am enjoying it so much. Trust me. I just realized that we have already crossed our hours, and my team
Oh
is
my
giving me a
gosh.
hint that Kush, it's already time. And I'm like, no, I want to talk more. I'm really enjoying it to the fullest. And guys, if you
I'm
are enjoying
grateful.
it,
I'm like, oh, thank God it's over, right? Oh, Jiminy.
oh no, trust me, that's not my feel at all. And but definitely you can see even Michelle was saying she's loving your sense of humor. Oh, right up on the screen. Exactly. You have got an amazing sense of humor, I have to tell you. And guys, if you enjoyed this, definitely hit up the share button. It deserves it. It really deserves it. You can't laugh alone. It's a crime. You can't do that. And this is a clear example. This episode is a clear example of edutainment, which is a whole lot of education, practical inputs, but there's a lot of entertainment. So you're not going to doze off. I'm 100% sure. I'm all charged up to go all in
I'm,
and get
I'm happy.
like
I'm happy to provide entertainment at any time. I'm available for entertainment services. How about that?
no, let's keep it to edutainment. I like that.
Oh, entertainment. Oh, not entertainment. Sorry.
So it's education because I love, Peter, that you started with the data, which was absolutely mind blowing. For me, at least, I loved it. And I'm sure the guesses as well. Good insights, nice banters. Just imagine, Ovia Kumar, I think you have an alternative career as a rock star. Oh
Oh,
my
is that
God.
right? He hasn't heard me sing. So thank God. See, he would totally change his mind if he heard me sing. That's right.
Okay, I think the rock star is not always about singing. It's about capturing the stage, and I think
Is
you've
that
got
right?
that. So over here he
Oh,
says
that's
thank you, and
fantastic.
how well does he also says Peter says thank you for your time. Sukumaran is saying Peter, thank you for your time for us. How well does having a variety of certifications that's not related to present work experience helps or doesn't help? What's the impact like? Do you want to take that before we wrap up?
Sure. Look, at the bigger picture, life is a journey that's well beyond work. Do things that you love, and do them to to whatever degree that you can find happiness and fulfillment from, right? That's above all else. Now, in a work context, if you do things that you love and you show and demonstrate that you're passionate, I think it can only help you in your career. So at the end of the day, I as a leader just want people who are passionate about what they do, whether it's I'm passionate about cooking or three teenage daughters, or I'm passionate about Tony Stark, or
Yay!
whatever it is. Yay! So
No, so
yeah, go for that
I
degree,
love
go
that,
for that
Peter.
certification, but do what you love.
Correct, Peter. I think I'm with you on that. When we ourselves are hiring, we really look at how much the person is into it rather than the certifications that they have done, which sometimes are great, but sometimes are not even great. Trust me. They just give them the boost
That's
of they're
right.
awesome at something, but with zero experience. So it somehow doesn't
Yeah.
even add value. I mean, that's my POV. Guys, do search us on Spotify right up on the screen. Don't miss it out. And do subscribe to the channel. Linkedpreneur, where we are bringing in all the episodes just for you to make it audio available. Now, with this, Rupali says, good insights. Thanks for sharing. We have true passion brings out excellence. Zoraida, ooh, no, miss some. Oh, she dropped out. Now I get it.
Oh.
She dropped out. That's why. That's amazing, Peter. That's amazing. I think it can just keep on. I can see questions. I can see my team has shared more questions with me already. But as we are almost reaching to the end, I wouldn't hold you further. But yes, it'll be great if you can come back and maybe reply over the chat or the comments. Would that work for you?
Sure, sure. Just drop me a line, let me know how, and happy to do that.
Awesome. Chief, he's our co founder as well. He says, great topic. Have been waiting for it. Have heard a lot about you, your wit and humor both from two of the wonderful people you met on the last call, Anil and myself. I've spoken a lot about you inside.
Hey, Chief. So,
So
it was so fantastic. Did I win a gimbal? I want my gimbal. I want a gimbal. Do I win one? That'd be fantastic. Look at that! Look at that! See? Ah, so good,
okay,
so
just for you, I'm
good.
gonna bring it right up on the screen. Yeah, that's
I
just
know.
how. Okay,
Can you
so
spin it one more
yes,
time?
can
Yeah.
I
Oh, look
can.
at that.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh
Okay,
my God,
so
that's just
this
so cool.
okay, so it goes like this, and I can literally show you what's on my screen.
Wow! You have your own droid. You have a droid. Wow, that's so cool. Does it do dishes?
So yes,
Does it cook?
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I wish it did. Trust me, I would have got him to do it. But it does help me to take some beautiful shots and record and really I record a lot of videos. It helps me to do that to a great extent. So that is the whole purpose of it. But it's right on my table and helps me to just access the phone in a most comfortable manner.
Fantastic, fantastic. A very good example of change in the world happening. A year ago
Yeah.
or 2 years ago, I bet you didn't have a gimbal. Now you have a
No,
gimbal.
I didn't. I
Now you
didn't. I
have,
didn't.
yeah, yeah, you did,
I
right?
think there are
So,
so many gadgets. So many gadgets. I didn't have it. I'm just investing in during the pandemic times, and it's making my life easy,
exactly.
no doubt. Ah,
Exactly. The
interesting.
world is changing. You're adapting. You're buying droids and stuff like that, right? But the world is changing very fast, and it's a good example right here. You have a cool seat. I don't have a cool seat, right? So
But you
I'm
have a
stuck.
cooler.
I'm getting left behind in the economy. You're keeping up with the economy.
But I have to say, I love your background. I really wanted to find out what is that? The like beautiful plate decoration, or or a mirror, or I don't know what is that. I'm simply loving it. The background that you're having. It's a beautiful decor. It's a beautiful decor.
Oh, well, thank you
Yes.
very much. Actually, that comes from the Philippines. Bought in the Philippines, where I used to live,
Oh,
and we carried around.
superb.
Except, yeah, yeah. So although I always have to position myself because I have 7 years of bad luck that I'm working off because look, like wait, oh, there's one missing. I don't know if you could see. Oh yeah,
No, I
there it is. Oh wait,
can't.
there
Oh
it
yeah, a
is.
corner. Yeah, yeah,
There,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
right. Yes,
there
yes,
it
yes,
is.
yes.
Yeah. So I see. See, I always try and position it so you can't see. So I'm into year
Smart.
4 of my bad luck. I've got 3 more years left, and I'm trying to do good deeds. So it just does wear off pretty quickly. Anyway,
Before you go for
so
surfing in Greek.
exactly, exactly, exactly. That's my
So
great
Peter,
resignation.
oh yes. So Peter, one last thing before we wrap it up for the day. I think we enjoyed
Okay.
it thoroughly. Is someone wants to move forward and give the great resignation. What's your piece for them?
Never run away from something. Always run to something.
Wow. Oh my God. Nothing could be better than this. It's a beautiful line, guys. Maybe it's about 6 to 8 words, but it says so much. If you are running really away from something, it's a different feeling. And when you're running towards something, you don't even look at what you are moving from and not running away from.
Yeah.
Wow.
You like that? I read that on
I
a
love
shoebox
that.
once. No, I'm just kidding. Just
But it's
kidding.
about
Just kidding.
no,
That
no.
was really
So
me.
so you got me. You got me. You got me there. But definitely,
So
it
yeah.
yeah, you did. You did. You did. You did. Don't run away from something, but run towards something. Love this. Anil as well has to say the same thing. So, guys, how much did you love Peter? Put it out in the comment section. How much did you love Peter? He got to come back and he got to read it. And he want to make
3,000.
sure
I love you 3,000.
3,000. So, guys, give a 3,000 in the comment section if you love what Preeter has been talking about. If you love us as well a little bit. So, but yes, the 3,000 is absolutely for Preeter. So, let's bring it up in the comment section. Love 3,000. Now, for the ones who do not know the meaning of Love 3,000, then you got to see Avenger series, and then you will find out what exactly it means. But in other words, it just means that we love you. So that's what it is, Peter. Lovely, lovely closure. Especially, it was like a bang on closure, mic drop. It's kind of that. I loved it. Ratika is saying, yes, take the challenge,
Oh,
love it. Awesome. So I'm guessing everyone who's gonna drop love, I'm gonna tell they are okay. See, oh my God, Ravinder is saying, come
3,000
back,
times
Peter.
infinity.
Ravinder is saying, come back, Peter. Zuraida is bringing with 3,003 hearts. And then Valerie is 3,000. Ratika is 3,000 infinity. Then we have Uday said, what that should sell that line to. Oh,
Behind the
see,
Nike.
imagine. You caught me for that line. We have Michelle saying love 3,000. We have Christina Law saying love 3,000 as well. Oh dear.
Excellent.
Definitely,
Excellent.
Peter.
Somebody from Disney is gonna come bust my butt now for that, right? I'm sure I'm gonna get some sort of Disney lawyer calling me any minute now. Oh, here he is.
Oh my God. You okay? Kumaran is definitely getting you all the career options. He wanna make you the rock star. Besides rock star, he can be a romance novelist as well. Okay, I'm not sure, Kumaran, from where exactly are you getting that hint, but definitely I will leave that between you and Peter to take it forward. But Peter,
Oh, there we go.
where exactly can these people get in touch with you if they love you and they would love to follow you? What is that platform?
Look, you can just hit me. You follow me on LinkedIn. Just hit me on LinkedIn, and yeah, I'll connect up.
Superb, superb. That's amazing, Peter. And as we're almost wrapping up for the day, I have to bring back my co host, Anil, right up on the stage. And he is going to do something that I'm not going to tell you what.
Oh my gosh. Now I'm not. Now I'm really nervous. No, I already had a rapid fire. No more rapid fire.
You know what, Peter? We
Oh,
usually have two rapid fires
now,
and we
now it
only had
becomes
one.
BBC Hard Talk.
So, Anil, welcome back. Welcome back. And I'm sure you have a lot to say. Let me take a pause. And
Oh, I'm telling you, Peter has not made me rest for even a second. I've been just listening to him. And he said something, Peter Bithos equals to overhyped. Guys, he has to be overhyped. The amount of content, the amount of insights, amount of edutainment he's done in the last 60 minutes, he has to be overhyped, guys.
oh, seriously.
I'm happy to provide comic relief, maybe at best. Distraction, definitely. That's about it. I'll go for distraction value. That's kind of about it.
My cheekbones are about to pain, Peter. Trust me. Another five
Likewise,
minutes
Kush.
and we are going to hit hard. But yes, Peter, I've brought my co-host on the show back is because he's known as a 60 seconds guy on Linkpreneur stories. A special reason for it, and I would love Anil to share himself. Anil, would you like to do that?
Oh, I would love to do that. I'm sure he's got some comments even on that. But before he does, let me kind of mention the 60 seconds guy surprise for him. Is basically, I've been in sales for close to 2 decades plus. And in sales, there's something called an elevator pitch. We all go and do to investors, we go and do to our prospects, going from level 1 to level 40, using that 60 seconds to impress upon the guy, okay, or probably give away the right things to him. So taking that back to Linkpreneur stories. So whatever insights our guest like yours come and give for the last 60 minutes, I concise that into 60 seconds and put that up. And that's why I was telling you, you made my life miserable because I've written about some 40 plus pointers. Okay. And I have to concise some important ones into that 60 seconds. So are you ready?
What?
Wow. And you know what? Actually, after a whole hour, I probably only said 60 seconds of things of any value whatsoever. So that's pretty easy, actually.
No, so it is not
No,
undermining
no,
your
no, Peter.
insights. Trust me, it's not undermining. It's a difficult task for me to gather all of that and only give away some important pointers to the audiences out here. So
Zoraida is already giving you the shout out, Anil, which is here comes the 60 seconds, guys. So let's hear it from Anil.
are you ready, Peter, to listen to your 60 seconds? Okay, my time starts now. So organizations need to really look at the what, the how, the where, what the employees want, how they want to work, where they want to work, because it's really important data. Financial security and feeling of being connected, which is relationships, are the two important metrics for all the employees. Massive skill gap of workers is happening around, and hence it's important for the organization to train the people who come inside the organization. I've always been a connected guy and always wanted to work with teams. And that's what even the stats revealed by Peter that only 20% of us want to work fully remote, which is just like my thoughts. People want to stay wherever they are and not keen to go for global exposure to different countries. And that's a new normal insight for me. A good mix of contrasting personalities is so important in a team. For example, like the way you said, this is extrovert plus introvert. I love that thought. Then when Kush asked you about startup and the top of the mind what you said was nightmare, I kind of resonate. But yes, that's my 60 seconds for you. And if I have to wrap this up, recently in one of my gigs, which is Insider, President Barack Obama did a keynote session for us on live with us, and Kush also was present. So he really said that in this annual event that a lot of organizations fail as they need to start caring. They need to invest in their employees. They need to care for them, which most of them don't do it. He ensured that everyone in the White House, which are surrounding him, because he could focus on some immediate ones which are there, that they are focusing on their development and personal growth. And in turn, he also ensured that people down the line, which is people reporting to them, also take care of that so that the whole ecosystem gets developed. And that was his few of the words which he mentioned in this keynote express. And I kind of resonate that whatever you said, Peter, on that.
Oh, Anil, you made it sound like I actually said something intelligent. That's impressive. That's very hard to do, by the way. You make hey Anil, as that Hollywood line says, you make me look good. I'm like, I'm definitely hiring you as my personal person I can take around and just say, like, he's talking for me.
I'm honored.
Oh my
You're
God.
my you're my gimbal, Anil. You are my gimbal.
Always ready to become one, Peter.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Trust
Fantastic.
me, this is
I'm not even talking about the compensation, the diversity and inclusion. You said so many things in time. The teenage daughters and so many things. And the last one was so impressive. Don't run away from something, guys, but run towards something. That was an incredible thing.
no, it was beautiful, Peter. It was really beautiful. Really enjoyed every single piece of word that you mentioned over the last
Thank you.
hour. It's
Thank
it's it's a
you very
pleasure.
much,
It's a
both of
genuine
you.
pleasure. I
That's
just want
one
to take a
thing.
Kush, you did a
moment and
great job.
tell
Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Peter. And I have so much love, respect, admiration, but for who you are, and at the same time, you're super humble, man. You're awesome. That's lovely. That's my favorite part. Seriously. Thank you so much, Peter, for being with us on Linkpreneur Stories and adding another star to our story.
So
Oh,
much resonate with that,
anytime,
Peter.
anytime.
Seriously, so happy to
Thank
have you on the show.
Bye,
Superb.
guys.
So bye bye, Peter. We're gonna miss you. Come back again is what all we want to say. Thank you so much and have a great night.
Bye bye. You too. Take care. Take care, audience.
I'm
Bye bye. Be safe wherever you are. Be well.
Yes. So guys, oh my god, 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 oh my god. The value
whoa.
bombs were never ending. And trust me, it's about, oh my god, we've exceeded the episode like anything today. And trust me, I still wanted to talk about so many things. So many of your questions are still not answered. But guys, we tried our best. Next time, bring your questions early. I'm gonna really prioritize your question above mine because that's what we want to do on Linkpreneur Stories, connect the ambitious minds to the leaders and get them a step closer. Go and connect with him, flood him with the connection request, and tell him what you loved about the episode the
Yes.
most in your personalized invite message that you got to send to him on LinkedIn and see the magic happening from there, guys. Take up what you love the most and send him a message right away. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Isn't that what we teach and coach also in our programs coming from Salt and Pepper?
Absolutely, Anil. Definitely. It's what we are inspired to do, to be able to build an ecosystem of all the professionals so that they can empower their growth and keep it in their hand and not let it be in anybody else's hand. So be the leaders of your own life, guys. Unleash, unleash your story. That's what is Linkpreneur Story all about. Thank you so much for being with us. Don't forget, don't forget right now, go to Spotify and subscribe to Linkpreneur Story. Subscribe, guys, right here, right now. That's how
Coach,
you
you
tell
stole
us
my
love.
lines.
Sorry?
You stole my lines. Guys, don't forget
Oh,
to
I
go and
did.
subscribe and be on Spotify. We are there with 12 episodes already, guys.
Yes, yes. For all the new people who have joined the Linkpreneur tribe, you don't want to miss the old episodes and see the excitement. Of course, we've grown. You might find some funny things that I would do on the show, but guys, please forgive me for that. I was also picking up the skill of being live. So, still doing every single day. I hope you love it. Open for feedback. Hit up the connect button if you're not connected as yet. Hit up the follow button for Linkpreneur Stories on LinkedIn and follow for every new guest every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. sharp Malaysia Singapore time, 6 p.m. India time, and 7:30 p.m. Indonesia time.
Awesome, guys. Keep watching. Same time. We've not changed the timings only for you guys. So you don't need to remember and put it in the calendar. So every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. That's what Kush mentioned. Be there, join the tribe, go on Spotify, follow us, and connect with us on LinkedIn. We are there out there.
Superb. Thank you so much, guys. Good night. Rise and shine.